Welcome back to Hot Mic with Sam Getzinger, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
Hour number 2 of this Thursday morning edition of Hot Mic off and rolling. Sam Getzinger filling in for Dom Izzo. As I mentioned, it's a football-heavy Thursday today, and we're going to continue that trend as we welcome in our next guest. It's the return of the St. Cloud Power Hour. Got to have it whenever I'm in the big chair. Alec Ausmus from KSTP, sports anchor and reporter, joining us this morning. Great to see you, Alec. I know you're moments away from heading off to Gopher fall camp. You've been at Vikings fall camp. We're just at that point of the year where it is a pedal to the metal. Things are getting crazy right now, especially for you guys.
It's fun though. I mean, it's and we were saying off camera, high school football, at least in Minnesota, the first practice is that gets going on Monday. I mean, it's just, it's here we go. And it's crazy how right now we sweat through these practices, but by the end of the season, we're shivering on the sidelines at some of this stuff. So it's the full year, full spectrum of football, which is great.
There's no doubt. I want to get to the Vikings in just a second, but you told me yesterday you were going to the Gophers, and I've been following the Gophers from afar, not too closely for the last couple of years since I moved up to North Dakota. I haven't really heard anything from their fall camp. Well, what's the big storylines going over there at the U of M?
Yeah, think about this. It's year 10. Of PJ Fleck. Like, it's already been a decade of PJ Fleck, and things overall have been going okay. Like, I mean, he hasn't lost a bowl game, and I know some of those bowl games, the Rate Bowl, the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit, but he's 6-7-0, something like that in bowl games. Year 10 of PJ Fleck. Here's what I'm going to say about the Gopher football team. I have reason in my mind to wonder this season if they can even win. They'd be lucky if they win 5 games.
Okay.
I also have reason to easily believe they could win 8 or 9 games. I mean, it's in the biggest thing behind that is quarterback Drake Lindsey.
Yep.
What kind of stride did he make? He went to the Peyton Manning camp, quarterback camp this summer. I mean, you have to be a fairly elite quarterback to even get invited to that. So Drake Lindsey is part of that. He's coming back with experience. What kind of stride, what kind of leap can Drake Lindsey make this year? There are some key returners. Darius Taylor, running back. On the defensive end, Anthony Smith, who could very easily, well, I shouldn't say easily, but there's a good chance he could be the Big Ten player of the year, the defensive end for the Gophers. So they have some guys like that make things very interesting on how this season could play out. However, they have over 50 new guys on this team. Now, that does count transfer portal, incoming freshmen. Any college team in the country is going to have guys in those categories. But the Gophers, over half of their roster are newbies, guys we don't know.
Right.
A lot of that's incoming freshmen, and there's a really good recruiting class as far as a PJ Fleck recruiting class. Some in-state guys, Roman Voss from Jackson, Minnesota, Southern Minnesota kid. I mean, he turned down Alabama to come to the Gophers. His name was already popping up from PJ Fleck last week when we heard from PJ. So there's a lot of unknown, but it's not a bad thing necessarily. We got to see how some games play out, obviously, but part of me is optimistic. The glass half full says maybe this team wins 7, 8, maybe 9 games. Also, I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't clear 5 wins.
Okay, that'd be interesting. Well, one more on the Gophers. Coy Parrish leaving to go to Oregon. How big of a hole is that for PJ Fleck to fill?
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Now, I would say Coy, his sophomore year last year wasn't as flashy as his freshman year, but teams planned for him last year. Their game plan revolved around Coy Parrish being an option there in the secondary. There's a kid named Kerry Brown in the secondary. He's back. I pencil him in as a Coy Parrish replacement, but I don't know. A crazy world of college football in that regard, right? Coy Parrish goes to Oregon, and I've seen he's getting paid as high as $2 million. Again, that's speculation, but wow. But yeah, Coy Parrish out, Kerry Brown in.
All right, well, we'll see how that goes, and it's hard to turn down $2 million. If I was that age and getting offered that, I'd hop on that ship right away. There's no doubt. I wanted to have you on, wanted to talk about the Vikings here. Of course, the news of Kyler Murray, now named the starter, has been released. Not necessarily a surprise, but you've been boots on the ground. You've seen this quarterback battle. What did you see in fall camp that separated Kyler from JJ, if really there was anything to separate the two?
That's just it, Sam. There wasn't neither Kyler or JJ consistently have been great. All right, we've seen moments from both. Kyler is a better quarterback right now. That's not breaking news to say that Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than JJ McCarthy, but McCarthy came in with almost, roughly 3 years of Kevin O'Connell's playbook in his mind, and Kyler told us that's the hardest part is he wants more and more reps. Here's the question, though, Sam. Was this truly a quarterback competition?
I say
by
no.
definition, it is. Right?
Fair.
By definition, it is. Now, yesterday, we heard from J.J. McCarthy, and he said there were things out of his control. But there kind of wasn't.
I agree.
He had the ability and control of everything he did in the offseason and to come in to this fall camp, this training camp, and outplay Kyler Murray. And in times he did. But I feel like what I'm getting at is this never truly was favored for J.J. McCarthy to come out of this as the starting quarterback. I do think there were conversations behind the scenes with Kyler Murray, especially when he signed with the Vikings, that we're going to make it look like a competition. We are going to give JJ a shot, but you're coming in to be our starter week one. And it's time. Was this all a waste of time? Like, did Kyler Murray miss out on a few reps with the first team because they technically had to give JJ some in front of us? We'll see. They both are supposed to play tomorrow, or Saturday night rather, against the Giants. I would think obviously JJ McCarthy, this is a big preseason for him. What can he do is the thought to see what he can do and up his trade value. I don't know. I do. Here's the other question. How durable is Kyler Murray? I don't think Kyler Murray plays 17 games this season.
That's what we're
thinking.
And
that's not that he's not good enough. That's just a durability question. So do the Vikings need J.J. McCarthy anticipating that Kyler can't play every game? Or is Fargo's golden boy, Carson Wentz, well, I know he's from Bismarck, but
still,
is that where Carson Wentz comes into the picture? Is the whole plan is to have Kyler Murray and Carson Wentz as your two quarterbacks and eventually try to trade J.J. McCarthy? Juicy, right?
Right.
I mean, I say that somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but it's been a fairly boring training camp, but in many ways, that's a good thing. There hasn't been any off-field issues. There hasn't been a Jordan Addison getting into some weird run-in with the police with speeding through a residential zone or something. I mean, it's been quiet. We're almost getting bored of talking about the quarterbacks, but
I don't blame you.
How can you not?
Yeah.
So,
it's one of the biggest storylines in the NFL fall or training camp throughout, the league right now. And now that this dog and pony show, if you will, is wrapped up, the timeline makes sense to do it 2 weeks in and not let it draw out for a couple of preseason games, right? Let's get this out of the way so Kyler can get those reps. So the timeline makes sense. Is that fair?
The timeline makes sense. The time was right now, and that's what Kevin O'Connell told us earlier this week, was that they felt that they had seen enough. There had been enough evaluation through about 9 practices, because I think we learned of Kyler becoming the starter before practice 10 of training camp. So, I guess that's what they saw what they needed to see. But that's back to my point of, was all of that a waste of time? Because if you knew Kyler was going to be your starter, why did you waste any time at all with him just not starting? But it just blows my mind, too. Think about this. If they move off J.J. McCarthy, that is in some of the all-time quarterback team that drafted a guy as high as they did. Like, that's Josh Rosen territory.
Yeah, no, it is.
Trey Lance a little bit. Like, love the kid. And he didn't pan out with his first team. And if they move off of McCarthy, 10 games is all we saw. I think even Christian Ponder made 30-some starts for the Vikings. So just amazing in many ways if the Vikings do move off McCarthy, just how quick this blew up, how quick this changed, how quick of a wasted first-round draft pick that turned out to be. And, Sam, trust me, as a media member, when you get to know J.J. McCarthy, you love the kid. It's really hard to not cheer for this guy. I went to his hometown last year and talked to his high school coach. I've been around his hometown now a few times. Like, the people there are great. It's so hard to not cheer for McCarthy. So I fear that he will pan out to be an okay quarterback, maybe somewhere in the NFL, but it won't be with the Vikings. He's going to run out of time.
I agree. And to go off your point, Eric put the comparison in my ear of Jamarcus Russell in there as well, which, that could be in the conversation there too. I just think of the flip side of that. There's been so many high drafted quarterbacks that have not panned out, but there have been some where it takes a little bit of time. And he's only 23 years old.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield's another one. Sam Darnold took a little bit to really catch his full stride. So I'm not ready to completely slam the door on JJ, but at least with this decision with Kevin O'Connell, it solidifies his way of thinking. He's more of a fan of veteran quarterbacks, and he's seen what Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold have done, and now hoping Kyler Murray can be the next one. And this just solidifies that we're going to go with Kyler. Maybe Carson sticking around for a high backup position as well. They're more veteran guys in the league. That's kind of how I see it right now.
And that's fair, right? Like, if you're Kevin O'Connell, what coach doesn't want a established veteran quarterback? Unless it's Jaden Daniels with the Commanders, I know his rookie year, he showed some things. Last year, he had some injuries. So, there are flashes where you get this young rookie that you're like, okay, this is our guy for the next decade. And there is something to say, too, Sam, about Kyler Murray and McCarthy going up against Brian Flores' defense every day. This defense looks really good. It could be one of the best. It should be. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Some injuries, I guess, but it should be one of the top defenses in the NFL this season. So that's actually, I think the Vikings defense is going to be more than just a safety net for this team this season. I think that defense is going to bail them out. If Kyler is struggling, I think the defense could bail them out of a lot of sticky situations, and going up against that every day. And we hear this every day, Sam, the iron sharpens iron. I know that is so cliche, but in ways, at Vikings training camp right now, with that offense going against Brian Flores' defense, there is a lot of truth to that.
It's one of those coach speak deals that it's okay, we've heard it forever, but it does make sense. Next man up, okay, we've heard that, but it makes sense. I get that. A couple more for Alec Ausmus. I know you got to go to go for fall camp here in just a little bit. You mentioned it's a boring training camp. Is there anything that this quarterback battle has overshadowed that maybe isn't being talked about at Vikings fall or training camp right now?
They need to run the football better, okay? Aaron Jones told my colleague Darren Wolfson that the run game will have more of an impact this season. They realize they haven't been a great running team, and Jones missed some games last year, but even Jordan Mason, I guess running back number 2, he even lost some weight this offseason intentionally to be faster, to be more elusive. They know they need to move the ball a lot better. Let's see how that pans out. Kyler, any quarterback needs a good run game, and the Vikings haven't had that for a few seasons. So I've been keeping an eye on that in spring training camp. I almost said spring training. This isn't baseball. In training camp, and obviously the 3 receivers they have now: Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Juwan Jennings. Great signing to bring in Juwan Jennings as your number 3 receiver. So there's some things on the offense that are definitely overshadowed right now by this quarterback conversation, but all of those things should help Kyler look pretty good.
Last one, switching off of football, going over to the Minnesota Twins. We're at the late point of the season. Do people care down in the cities about the Twins right now? Should they care, considering they're still in the race? What's the vibe surrounding that team?
Hey, the Twins are right in it, and what's helping with that is the American League is just not overpowering this year. But hey, that you have no control over that. The Twins are in it right now, but they went from pre-trade deadline needing to bolster the bullpen, and now the starting rotation has taken some major hits. Joe Ryan's on the IL. Bailey Ober has struggled a little bit. Zebby Matthews, I know they won yesterday, but Zebby didn't look great either. So let's say you do squeak into the playoffs. Is Joe Ryan healthy? Does that leave you with just Taj Bradley? Is Bailey Ober the number 3 guy for any kind of playoff run? There's some shakiness now in the starting rotation, and that's just baseball. They're hitting the ball well. Royce Lewis is a machine right now. He's mashing doubles again. He's getting extra base hits. So the offense has never really been a problem for the Twins this season. It's always pitching. The bullpen's better. Think about it. We actually have some faith in the Twins bullpen now. Whether it's Hoffman, who they traded for, AJ Minter's been solid. There's guys now, Andrew Morris, who they've drafted and developed. That's great to see. So there's a lot of good with the bad on this, Sam, but yeah, there's optimism. They might be able to squeak in. I don't know I haven't looked at the standings today. I think they were a game out of the wild card yesterday.
Yep.
The White Sox are staying kind of hot a little bit in the Central, so I know there are a few back in the Central, but that's what we wanted, right? That's all we wanted. Just this team to be in the hunt. It's mid-August now. I mean, you're getting closer to really being able to hone in on that finish line, and the Twins are in it. They're in this race, and Tom Pohlad at the beginning of the year said this team will be competitive this season. He was confident on that. He didn't promise it, but he kind of did, and here they are. So that needs to change, right? That the new ownership, no, the Pohlads still own the team, but Tom coming in, that was where the fans needed a recharge, and so far that's happening.
Yeah, it's a good sign considering how low fan expectations were at the beginning of the season. To see that they're still in the mix is good. They got the Field of Dreams game coming up tonight. Yeah. I'll let you run. I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you taking a couple of minutes and joining us this morning.
Hey, always, Sam. Thanks for having me. The St. Cloud Power Hour, man. I needed that jolt myself, so this was great.
There you go. Hopefully that gets you through the rest of camp. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day, man. Have a good weekend.
Yep, see you, Sam. Thanks.
Alec Ausmus from KSTP joining us on this Thursday morning. Always great to catch up with him. One of the busiest men in show business. Those guys down there in the Twin Cities doing a wonderful job covering everything happening, and it's that busy time. Minnesota high school football starting on Monday. Eric, I think that what Alex said answered some of our questions from the beginning of the show. Eric, you asked what the defense was going to be like, and Alec was pretty firm. Defense is going to be good, potentially one of the top in the NFL, which is a much-needed sign for Minnesota Vikings fans heading into this year with questions going around the offense with what's going to happen at quarterback. Are they going to be able to run the ball? They got decent wide receivers. Can they get the ball to those wide receivers? But it sounds like the defense is going to help them out. And I do like what Alex said. I tried to give JJ the benefit of the doubt at the beginning of the show by saying on his comments of it was out of his control. The decision to pick Kyler over JJ was out of his control. I tried giving him the benefit of the doubt. I understood somewhat of where he's coming from, that the decision itself is not one that he was going to have to make. But I go back with Alec that there were a lot that were in his control. It maybe wasn't his, and Kyler had to fight to get it at the start of training camp. But, oh, man, JJ had all the control in the world to do everything perfectly to make it a no-brainer that we were going to go with JJ, and he just didn't do that. That's why the out-of-control comment is a little odd for me. And now we wait and see. Is it going to be JJ? Is he sticking around? I think he will for this year. Does that put Carson Wentz as the 3 guy? I think so. I think that's where he's at, unless I'm completely misinterpreting or misreading Carson Wentz heading into this season. I think that's where things are going to shake up for the Vikings right now. Eric, do you have anything to add after hearing what Alec had to say?
Yeah, I guess my question, I mean, I know we didn't have enough time to answer, to even ask this, but how often or how long can the Vikings offense stay on the field to help their defense?
Well,
because
it's fair. Yeah.
The best defense is your offense, because if the offense is constantly going 3 and out, or it's a quick 5-play drive, the defense is going to get tired. So how good are you going to be then, late in games?
Yep.
When you need your offense to sustain that 10, 12-play drive that goes 8-9 minutes?
And to go back off of what Alex said, too, the durability of Kyler Murray is something in question. And I think as a Minnesota sports fan, you have to have that in the back of your mind, because we've all been heartbreaking at some point or another over the last couple of years, year in and year out. And you have to imagine, I know we're pushing, like I said earlier, the horse is well ahead of the cart right now when we talk about injuries in the NFL season, but that is a possibility of something that can happen. And I agree with you. If you're going to have a good football team, both the defense, offense have to be good, but they have to complement each other. There has to be complementary football. And are we going to get that with the Minnesota Vikings with what the offense is looking like right now? I'm looking at the unofficial depth chart that they put out just the other day for the Vikings. JJ's at number 2, Carson's at 3, Max Brosmer is at 4. The running backs are interesting. Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason, who's going to come out ahead of there. But I think Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, if he can continue to be productive, that's a good start there. And as he said, Jawan Jennings is a solid third option. I think their receiving group is no issue as well. TJ Hawkinson, how good can he be this year? Josh Oliver, can he make a difference as the backup guy at a tight end? Is Gavin Bartholomew going to do anything? I really don't think so, but that's something to consider there. The offensive line, on paper, it looks solid. Health-wise, are they back? Is Darisaw going to be good to go this year? Everything that we're going to find out as the next couple of weeks progress. Eric, you got something else you want to add here?
Yeah, just a quick note on Kyler Murray here. Just looking at their schedule and looking at how in the Cardinals contract that they had to have like a film study or like video game stuff because he doesn't study film. His favorite game, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4, comes out October 23rd.
Were we doing this when he was with the Cardinals and a video game was coming out?
Hey.
Oh, I bet. See, now, what I think is funny with Vikings quarterbacks right now, I for sure Kyler wants to live down this whole video game thing, and I'm strongly thinking JJ's ready to live down this whole 9 thing. I bet he regrets ever saying that in whatever interview it was at camp or whenever or post game. I bet they're just waiting to live this down, and just things keep on stacking with all this quarterback battle news, air quotes around that. I bet these guys are just they're just sick of it, but
They do it to themselves, though.
They do, and it partially on fans and on the media for boosting that up, but it's something to talk about. I bet they're ready to live it down. So keep that in your back pocket on whenever you said that video game comes out.
October 23rd, so 2 days before they play the Colts.
Okay, so, well, that'd be great for me if he gets a little distracted. I'd be okay with that. But keep that in your back pocket. If he has a bad game against the Colts, you can use that as your excuse on October 23rd. All right, we are due for a break, well overdue. Big thank you to Alec for joining us here on this Thursday morning. Let's step aside. A reminder coming up later on this hour, we'll have Isaiah St. Romain, Bison wide receiver, joining us. Pride out of Williston, heading into his sophomore year. We'll get to that in a little bit. Got some Timberwolves news I want to pass along as well in our next segment. That's coming up when we return on Hot Mic.